How's it going, guys? Which you'll be seeing today is some chain link footage, and basically what this is a full length match of me explaining exactly how it works and sort of early strategies as I try and figure out the maps, figure out the ebb and flow, and figure out more and more to get better at it. But right now I'm doing pretty decent at it. I'm learning, and of course this here is Pro Market. This is one of the new maps that came out with the Dragon's Teeth DLC. This one here is one of the more frantic ones to play chain link in because the flags are on the top roof, they're on the bottom floor, so you have that variable elevation factor that you have to account for if you're going to have success, and that's what makes this map fun. It can be terrible if the enemy team gets all the top flags, because then the bottom crew just get absolutely shit on from bullets. So you have to balance elevation top versus bottom if you want to have success in this map. But anyway, here we go. I'll explain chain link. First things first, it's, as you can see, the biggest difference is well, actually I should say the first similarity is it looks like Conquest. There's flags, you have to capture them. It's not like Conquest where it takes a while to capture a flag. It's more like Domination. It's very short timing to actually capture the flags, which plays for an interesting strategy too, because a lot of the time right after you take a flag you could leave less than 50 meters away from the area, and next thing you know the enemy team takes it back. So it's very frantic, very fast paced, but to me very fun because I like these fast paced style of modes. But that's basically a big factor of strategy as well. What you also see is on top of the mini-map there, you'll see a ticket count. It started at 2,000. We're winning by about close to 100 now. And what you'll see is, as we're the Russians, we have a 3 and a line, and then the US has a 1 and a line right above the minimap. And the thing with those is basically those are the links you have. Like I was saying, as everyone knows, when you play Conquest, controlling the majority of the flags will allow the enemy's ticket count to start to bleed, and that's how you win the match. Keep the majority of the flags and hold them, and eventually that's it. You'll win. And basically killing and revives don't play an extremely large... Well, in Conquest they would play an extremely large factor, especially if you were playing Conquest small with infantry. Reviving, not spawning in, etc. all were big factors. In this one, in this game mode, with how frantic and how fast-paced the ticket count bleeds, etc., kills obviously and revives count. I'm not saying don't revive or not kill people, because obviously that's part of the game as well, but they're not as big a factor. If you're able to establish a lot of links, your the enemy team's ticket count will go down so fast that you barely even have to worry about kills. Trust me on that. Like, I'm not saying, again, don't put words in my mouth, I'm not saying that not to kill. I'm just saying if you had the full links, you wouldn't even need to. But anyway, here we go on. As you'll see at the bottom of the screen, right as I killed Tank D's, right below that, you'll see we have a link between A and B, B and C, and C and D, and the enemy team only has one link, so we're leading 3-1. And if you look at their ticket count, you'll see that their ticket count is bleeding extremely fast, at 3 to 4, like per half second it seems, versus ours that is basically just barely going down at all. It's basically with the kills. But now they tied it up as they established 2 links. But like I said, the key to winning this match is establishing links. If you were to get, say, A, C, and E, and the enemy team were to get B and D, neither of you would establish the bleed because you're varying out your tickets. It's not about holding the majority of the flags, it's about establishing links. You have to get flags that are close together and connected to start the ticket bleed. That's pivotal to winning this match. So you have to, and that's why emphasizing squad work, going out together as a team to basically establish those links is paramount to success. The only time I would advise going lone wolf is if, say, you were behind enemy lines already and you wanted to destroy links. And it's very easy to destroy links because you have to look at the strategies. Because we broke their link, and in a second we'll be able to re-establish that link. But we only established a single link. We only established B and C. Now, the intelligent strategy would be, well, right as I die, the intelligent strategy would be, in this case, to probably go for D, because then or even E, because that way you'd establish at least 3 to 4 links. But see, at this point here, you should probably go for B, because if we went for B in this case, we'd establish another 2 links just by capturing 1 flag. So it's about looking for the flags that will give you the most links to count the most tickets down, or to establish the biggest ticket bleed on the enemy team. So strategy on which flag you should take absolutely counts for so much more in this game. And because it's so frantic and fast paced, sometimes an area that like I just left a couple of minutes ago, or I just cleared, I could move 50 meters away, not even, and next thing you know, that it's right up for grabs and the enemy team breaks my link again. So a lot of the time, the strategies I use is if I'm actually able to take a flag, I'll stay around it for a couple more seconds just in case, so that the enemy team doesn't come in. Because like I said, like domination, the flags change over so quick, so you have to make sure that all your effort to keep it there is worthwhile. And just a little side note here, this is the new battle pickup, Rower, the little robot. I just call it the iRobot. I had a difficult time. I forgot at first that it basically the 2-element, you could control the turret and how to drive, so it is terrible driving. But I'll show that in a different video. As you see, we're losing B, so we just lost 2 links, which is a problem. So if we go back and establish B again, then we're going to be re-establishing 2 links on 1 flag, so that would be the strategy to use. The key, like I've been saying the whole time, is to basically establish the most links to win. Like if we get B back, then we're going to have 3 links established, which would dramatically increase the enemy team's ticket bleed. That's what you have to go for. The other thing this game mode is really... at first, I didn't like the idea of being able to flank and one guy being able to take out a flag. But the reason why I like it now is because it's so easy to lose and so easy to take it back. But at the same time, it establishes that chaotic sort of atmosphere when you play. You have to be well aware of what the enemy team is going for, and you have to look at your own flags, because instead of just saying, okay, I'm just going to go and say randomly take F flag because F flag happens to have the least people around it, despite me going toward it, the better strategy looking at the map would always be, like I said, look at them at the bottom there, would be to go for B, because it would establish another link as we're losing multiple flags here. The other thing too is if you're on defense, because admittedly so, there are some times where you're going to just get matched up against teammates that are going to try and unlock assignments. You're going to get matched up against opponents that maybe they're really good as well. So of course, like every match, you're going to have moments where it's bad, moments where it's good. But in the bad moments, the easiest way to deal with it a lot of the time, I've noticed, is if you can't get and establish links for yourself, just be that pain in the ass guy that goes and actually breaks the other team's links. Because you can do so much to help yourself and your team by breaking the enemy team's links. Like they have, it's 1-2 right now, so our ticket count is going down. But if you look, if I was to go and take B flag, that would destroy 2 of their links. Right as I said that, my teammates are doing it. Right now, I'm just stuck in an area where I'm basically just trying to fight these guys off a roof, so I'm not really taking the flags. But I do leave in a minute to go and basically change that. But it's very frantic. Spawn beacons are your best friend in this mode. The recon class is basically, especially the recon class with a carbine, is basically your team's best friend. And trust me, if you're looking to try and complete that assignment where you need to get the CS5, where you need the spawn beacons and people spawning in, trust me, this map is basically that. In the match propaganda, which is far more linear than this one is, because this one has the variable amounts of elevation. In the propaganda map, like I was saying, if you went to the propaganda map, that's more linear based. You have areas to flank on the side, but it's a very linear based map. And if you, on average, can use your spawn beacons, you can destroy the enemy team. Because, well, as I got smoked by 3 or 4 guys there. If you establish the spawn beacon, like I was saying, because I don't really do it in this match, I was more focused about getting kills with assault in this one. But if you do, like I was saying, before I get sidetracked again, if you do establish beacons behind enemy lines, you'll get people spawning on your beacon toward the assignment, but on top of that, you'll basically continuously take away the enemy team's flag points. And that's the biggest difference in Conquest there. You'd say, okay, maybe I should go and get A in this case if I was trying to attack the enemy team's flags, because you'd say, okay, well, if I establish A, there's a good chance that I'll probably have the most time to establish that one. In this one here, you should, definitely now you should be going for B, because the enemy team just took C, so taking B would break those 2 links. But right now we're in pretty good shape. We're winning 3-2 in the links, and that's what it takes to win. You need those links. You absolutely need those links to win this game mode. And the more you have, the more you're going to bleed down the enemy team's tickets. And that's basically how this game mode works. With regard to strategies, I can give out map-specific ones. On this one here, like I was saying, you have in this one here, Pearl Market, what you have to do is basically balance the top versus bottom elements of the map, because it has, like I said, it has the high grounds and the low grounds. I really like how they did this map, because putting the flags all on the ground when there's a high ground would be an absolute, well, it would defeat the purpose and it would be a nightmare, but they didn't do that at all. What they did is they put flags on the top and flags on the bottom. And the best way I found is if you establish links on the top section, you can control the high ground toward the bottom section flags in other sections. Like, for example, here, I don't know what flag I'm at. I think it's closest to B. But we're winning 4-0. If you were holding B, I keep clicking request Y when I actually forget. I'm trying to go for ammo. If you let them control ones furthest away from the spawn, like for example, say G flag there. If you give them F and G and you control the rest, you're gonna win handily, and that's usually how I figure most of the time things end up working out when you play this mode. If you give them perimeter ones, and as long as you don't prevent them from, or as long as you prevent them from getting flanks around you and basically controlling where you want to go, then you'll be fine. That's the easiest way I've found to do it so far playing it. But of course, I'll be doing more. I'll be posting more of this footage. I'll be posting more tips as we go. But giving the enemy team their gimme 1 or 2 and then just keeping them back and preventing them from flanking, because trust me, the flanks are what basically kill you. And see, as I take this guy out, I see in a second that if we get B, we are going to establish another 2 links. So I do as much as I can to get this, but watch, this becomes an absolute shit fest, because the enemy team sees it as well. I try and at least push them back with grenades here. See, double link. You get more points for the more links you get. Like I was saying, you can take this guy out. And at first I thought I was in serious trouble here. I thought I was going to die with that grenade, but I didn't. And that's the power of reviving. Look at this, reviving these 2 guys. I think I revived this next guy here in a second as well. And we're able to completely hold them off and completely establish this area here. And then we go and push A again, because if we get A in a second or 2, then we'll establish another triple link. Well, actually, we just lost it, but yeah. Anyway, that was basically the explanation. The too long didn't read version of this is establish as much links as possible. Make sure you plan out which links that you're going to be taking, and if you can't actually push through an enemy defense at one area, because logically there'd be a choke point at D and E early on as you're all fighting for the same spot, flank around and take their gimme at G. It completely disrupts their, or F I should say. Go and take their F flag. It'll completely disrupt their 2 links. They'll be forced to come back for it, and you can, hopefully your team, because those guys left the middle to disrupt the carnage that you did, they can take the flag and continually push up. It's the balance. Have a good one, YouTube.